Hi, I'm Nat and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be about the Aquarius full moon that's happening on August 9th at 12:55 a.m. Pacific time. And I wanted to start off this video with a really good crystal to work with during this full moon, and it's the crystal that I'm choosing to work with for this full moon, and it's clear quartz. Clear quartz is all about clearing and cleansing our mental activity. The purpose of clear quartz is to find clarity and find a way to move forward. So I connected this crystal with the Aquarius full moon for a couple of reasons. And the first one is clear quartz works hand in hand with full moon energy in general. Full moons are all about release, letting go, and clearing any blocks. So that goes hand in hand with what clear quartz represents. And I also chose clear quartz because Aquarius is an air sign, and air signs are very intellectual and mentally stimulating. So our mental activity is going to be heightened during this full moon. And another reason is because for this full moon, there is a major configuration happening in the sky, and it's activating all three air signs. And air signs represent communication, intellectuality, mental stimulation, and being social with the people around us. So our mental activity is extra important right now, and probably extra busy. So clear quartz is going to be a crystal to help you work with the thoughts and work with the mental activity that's coming up right now, and helping you clear any thoughts that don't serve you in order to find clarity and a way to move forward. So that's why I chose clear quartz, and it's actually one of my favorite crystals to work with. And I'm gonna leave it right here for the rest of this video. And now I'm going to get into Aquarius energy. Aquarius energy is very original. It's very unique, and it can also be seen as unconventional and progressive. Aquarian energy is rebellious, and it's eccentric, and it really strives for freedom and independence. So you may be someone who has major placements in Aquarius, or you may know people with major placements in Aquarius, and they may come off as individuals who are independent and individuals that honor their differences, they honor their originality and uniqueness, and they really don't follow traditions or a status quo. And I think one thing that is really apparent with Aquarius energy is the fact that people with Aquarius placements don't conform to societal norms. So we have this individual level of what Aquarius energy can show us. And we also have another energy that, or another aspect of Aquarius energy, and that is the fact that Aquarius rules over large groups of people. It rules over communities, it rules over friend groups, and it also rules over the collective. So we have this duality between the individual and being someone, or Aquarius individuals being people who reject societal norms, people who reject the status quo, people who love and honor their differences. They're creative, they're innovative, they're very original and unique. And then you have this other side, which is large groups of people and the collective. So I think a good connection to make with Aquarian energy is that the collective reflects the people that are a part of it, and the people that make up the collective are all different. So it's very much this energy that strives for honoring and respecting the differences in ourselves and honoring and respecting the difference in others. Aquarius also has two rulers. It's one of the signs that has a modern and a traditional ruler. And the modern ruler of Aquarius is Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of shock. It's a planet of unexpected events. It's a planet of rebellion, of uniqueness, of unconventional characteristics, and of evolution. And the traditional ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. And Saturn is this traditional sign. It rules over time, it rules over boundaries. It also rules over rules and restrictions. So it's interesting when you have these two rulers that really accurately reflect Aquarian energy, and they offer this duality in Aquarian energy, even though Aquarius isn't commonly known for its duality. Um, so that's just another tip about Aquarian energy. And it's important to note that specifically for this full moon, both Uranus and Saturn, which are the rulers of Aquarius, are being activated with this full moon. So now I'm going to get into what the full moon is asking of us right now. And full moons are all about release and letting go, and clearing any blocks we have that are preventing us from stepping into Aquarius energy. So Aquarius, this full moon is going to affect us based on our personal birth chart. So the area of life and the house that Aquarius sits in your personal birth chart is going to be highlighted with this full moon in Aquarius. So in that area of life, we are going to be asked to release and let go of what is preventing us from embodying Aquarius energy. So that could be at a personal level, or that could be at a collective level. And if it's a personal level, if it's affecting us at a personal level, it's going to be asking us to release any blocks around not honoring our differences and not honoring our originality and uniqueness. And it's also going to ask us to release those blocks in order to find the right groups of people that resonate with us. And if this is more apparent on a collective level, we may be seeing more shifts in the communities that we're a part of or the friend groups that we're a part of. And we also may be really aware of the shifts and changes that we see in the collective, and specifically through the internet and social media. So this Aquarius full moon is really asking us to let go of what's not allowing us to be or to exude Aquarian energy. And that is going to be at a personal level and a collective level as well. Now I'm going to get into the aspects of the full moon. And for this Aquarius full moon, we have a major configuration forming in the sky right now. And that configuration is known as the Kite Configuration. And what you can see is a kite forming in the sky that consists of a trine aspect, it consists of two sextile aspects, and it consists of one opposition. So when a configuration happens in the sky like this, we want to analyze it as a whole in order to get the full story. So just by looking at this kite configuration, we have a grand air trine at play. And this means that all the air signs are being highlighted right now, and there's an ease and flow in the element of air. Air signs are intellectual, they are communicative, they are mentally stimulating, and they're also very social. So in general, communication, mental stimulation, and socializing is going to be highlighted during this full moon. And then we have these two sextiles that are connecting collective energy with individual energy. So we have Pluto in Aquarius, which is collective change, sextiling Saturn in Aries, which is personal responsibility of who we are and who we want to become. And then we have Uranus in Gemini, which is collective energy, and it's specifically communication of and within the collective, and it's sextiling Saturn in Aries, which is personal change, personal responsibility, and becoming who we want to be. So we have this collective energy sextiling personal energy. And I want to note that Neptune in Aries is Neptune is conjunct Saturn in Aries. So Neptune is going to infuse that energy into our personal identity and into the responsibility we have for becoming who we want to be. So Neptune is affecting us on a personal level with the energy of our unconscious and our spirituality and the unseen realm. So what Neptune can be influencing our personal identity at the moment is it's going to incorporate more spirituality into our identity. It's going to also incorporate what we unconsciously believe and what we unconsciously dream of as well. And Neptune is also the sign of compassion and empathy. And I want to note that Neptune is retrograde right now. So when it's retrograde, it kind of gives it more of a realistic and positive influence. So when it's retrograde, the energy of compassion and empathy can really be highlighted right now and be used to our advantage and benefit. So Neptune is a collective energy, but it's also a part of our unconscious. So it does hit us at a personal level as well. And since it's conjunct Saturn in Aries, it's going to be infused into the responsibility that we take for our identity and becoming who we want to be. So that is the sextiles. And then we have an opposition. So before I get into the opposition, the trine involving the air signs and the sextiles involving collective and individual energy are positive aspects. So there's a flow and ease to collective and individual energy, and also our intellectuality, our mental stimulation, our communication, and the people that we socialize with. So that is the influence of the trine and these two sextiles in this kite configuration. And then we have this opposition. We have the opposition from Saturn and Neptune in Aries to Mars in Libra. So I'm going to cover the opposition before I get into the full analysis and the full message of the kite configuration. And what this opposition is offering us right now is very interesting because we have Mars in Libra. Mars is the sign of, it's very self-oriented. It's the sign of personal drive, personal goals, actions, and desires. And it's in the sign of Libra. And Libra is all about relationships. It's about our one-to-one relationships in business, in romance, and in friendship. So we have Mars in Libra opposing Saturn in Aries. And I'm just going to cover Saturn in Aries in order to analyze this opposition. So we have Mars in Libra opposing Saturn in Aries. Saturn is responsible. It's responsibility of our identity and of who we are becoming. And when you look at this opposition, Aries and Libra are opposite signs. You have Aries, which is all about the self, and you have Libra, which is all about relationships. However, the planets that are aspecting each other like to be in the opposite signs. So Mars doesn't really feel comfortable in Libra. However, if you flip that, Mars is the ruling planet of Aries. And then going back to that, Saturn in Aries is like an extra emphasis on personal responsibility. But if you flip that, Saturn really likes to be in Libra. Saturn's exalted in Libra. So we have opposing energy, but we have planets that, if we are aware of, we can work with the symbolism of flipping the planets to our advantage. So we can take the energy of Mars and understand that Mars in Libra is actually showing up as being responsible for ourselves in our relationships. It's not so much, or it doesn't have to be so much about our personal desires in a relationship or self-fulfilling actions in a relationship. This Mars in Libra can actually be about showing up as a responsible individual who knows who they are, who knows their identity, who has boundaries, and who shows up whole in relationships. And that can really signify the work that we're doing with this Saturn in Aries and the extra responsibility we have towards the self. And then when you show up whole and when you show up whole and someone who knows what they want and knows where they're going, and you show up as a whole person in relationships, you offer this really strong foundation for building a relationship. You offer quality, you offer longevity in relationships, and that's when you can use that Saturn in Libra energy, or manipulate that Saturn to your benefit and allow it to show up in Libra and in your relationships. So this is energy that we have to be really aware of, but I think it's offering us a little bit of a cheat code with this opposition, and it's offering us an advantage if we are consciously working towards responsibility of ourselves and our identity, and showing up in relationships as a responsible and whole person. And that could be us actively, with Mars and Libra, actively showing up in relationships, being more present in relationships, taking more responsibility and action towards fostering positive, healthy, and sustainable relationships for ourselves. So that is a point of this opposition that I wanted to highlight. And now I'm going to analyze the final message of this kite configuration. So, like I mentioned before, we have the kite configuration that has extra weight at the top. So you have the Uranus and Gemini over here at this point. You have Saturn and Neptune up here at the top of the kite. And then you have Pluto and Aquarius over here as the third point in the kite. So this top portion of the kite has a lot of weight. And then we have the bottom portion of the kite, which is Mars and Libra. So we need to balance this energy, and Mars in Libra is the key to balancing this energy. And why I'm making this connection is because the top of the kite is showing personal change or personal responsibility. It's showing ourselves, the individual, and it's also showing the collective. So we have personal, individual energy and collective energy at the top of this kite configuration. And then at the bottom of this kite configuration, we have relational energy that is for one-on-one relationships. So the kite configuration is kind of signaling a three-part transformation. So to sum up the energy of the full moon, it's going to be an energy of transformation around or transformation on a personal and individual level, transformation on a relationship, a one-to-one relationship level, and transformation among communities, friend groups, and the collective. And the key is going to be our one-to-one relationships and taking action towards fostering positive one-to-one relationships, or taking action in the relationships that we already have. So I know there's a lot of energy happening right now with this full moon, so you may be called to rest a little bit more than usual during this time. But nonetheless, I hope everyone's feeling ready for this Aquarius full moon and ready to let go, release, reflect, and clear any blocks that no longer serve them. So thank you all again for watching. Really quickly, if you would like to book a reading with me, I have two options available. I have a $100 service and a $30 service, and I would love to connect with anyone who is interested in receiving a personal birth chart reading. This is an excellent way to learn your personal birth chart and work with the full moon and new moons that I'm covering on a bi-weekly basis. So thank you again for watching. I'll see you for the next video, and take care.